Hey there guys, today we will be looking at B52's Looking Good Berry. So this is their, excuse me, listed as one handsome hazy double IPA. So a New Englandish style double IPA that is brewed with Simcoe lupulin powder and double dry hop with Ekuanot hops. Yeah, so this is the past release from this past Friday. So this is the 11th that came out 4 days ago. And yeah, so as you can see, artwork, lovely artwork, tasting notes, grape tasting notes like Slappin' Pickle, Dirty Martini, Zimas and Smirnoff Ices. And yeah, so this guy comes in at 8.9% alcohol by volume. So went up there for release, got one of these and the Tropical Shake, which I will also be reviewing soon. Yeah, so let's do the regular first. This guy's still pretty cold. Just came out of the fridge. Let's not spill it this time. Alright, so pretty aggressive pour. Let's switch these. As you can see, pours out a huge foamy fluffy white head. It's got this deep kind of this orange color. It looks deeper here, so it looks kind of more like this deep sort of candied orange type color, very hazy. A little bit brighter there, of course, on screen, but it looks definitely deeper colored than when I had it. I had it outdoors, outside. Maybe it looked a little bit brighter, but it looks a little bit darker colored here right now. So it's just still pretty cold, but let's check out the aroma on this guy. Oh wow! So really bright, floral, lemony, citrusy type characteristics. Picking up some pineapple. Kind of like a pineapple orange almost. Yeah, I'd definitely say pineapple orange. Very, like I said, very floral. That kind of grassy character is more in the form of like this sort of bright flowery aspect, a little bit less of that really kind of raw green type character. Getting a bit of a crackery malt underneath. Starting to see some mango come out in this too. Maybe some guava. Yeah, so starting to see mango and guava come out, still pineapple orange. It's really getting more tropical, even still as cold as it is, just kind of starting to open up pretty quickly. So it smells fantastic. Check it out. Cheers. Woo. Okay, so definitely the first thing I notice is this guy is kind of boozy. Right off the bat, got this pretty intense burst of alcohol. Pretty intense. Right through my nose. Definitely did not expect that much. It didn't taste like that or have that kind of booziness on draft, so I did not expect that. Let's go back at it. Okay, yeah. So, still getting, it's a bit more lemon and citrus on the taste. Maybe not as much pineapple. Still some pineapple there, but definitely not as much mango or guava. But I'm getting a lot of booze. It's coming in a decent amount stronger than I like. Don't really like any kind of alcohol, and it sort of has that a bit of that intense, like I don't want to say quite rubbing alcohol, but you know, it has that really kind of intense, and it almost sort of gives it like this kind of gasoline sort of characteristic that's a little bit off-putting. So I'm hoping that that's going to kind of mellow out as this maybe warms up. Because I definitely wasn't getting that on draft. Wasn't this cold on draft, so that might be a thing. I guess we'll see when this warms up. But other than that, it has some solid lingering bitterness. Not quite too, I would say West Coast IPA intense, but definitely more so than most New England IPAs. Getting a lot of that floral aspect a lot. It does the floral kind of bitterness reminds me of something like some of the JK saisons, Jester King saisons that tend to use things like dandelions or doesn't have that soapiness, but has that floral bitterness that I would equate to something like God, now I can't think of it off the top of my head. It was Jester King beer with, I believe it was dandelions. Their kind of take, sort of, I guess their inspiration of Phantom. Hopefully I pronounced this correctly, Piss and Lit. But I believe that was their Vulgar Affectation. It has that sort of floral dandelion type of bitterness to it, but it doesn't have that soapiness, which is nice. You know, the nose reminds me a lot of it kind of reminds me of a really fresh, bit more tropical version of something like Pussy Wagon from Brash. Just because I get a lot of that really floral, kind of bright citrus character that beer has. This is a bit more tropical, but it does remind me of that. It didn't really as much so on draft. Okay. Alcohol has definitely calmed down a little bit. So, if you're drinking this, I would definitely recommend to let this guy warm up. Because it's not going to come off as harsh. At least it isn't to me. Either I'm getting used to it, or it's not coming off as harsh now that it's kind of sat, or at least maybe let it open up for a few minutes. Yeah. Body is really nice. I mean, I would expect that for 8.9%. Very full feeling. The carbonation is really nice and soft. It does sort of remind me of Towards Treehouse on the body and carb. Maybe not quite there, but close. Bitterness is starting to pick up a little bit. But yeah, overall, this is pretty really good double IPA from B52. My issues are the alcohol, a little bit too boozy. It has calmed down a bit, but definitely was off-putting right at the initial tasting, and you can still feel it some, just it's not as harsh. And I feel like this was more tropical, more to the style on draft. I don't know what it was, but it feels more of a Midwest style here. It doesn't feel quite as New England. I don't know if it was supposed to be a New England IPA, but I got that kind of feeling on draft, and it's not really having it as much so here. But still close. Still has a lot of similarities. Definitely still juicy to a pretty good extent. So, but having had 2 crowlers of the tropical shake version, that one has really impressed me, and I will be reviewing that coming up soon. But compared to the base beer, it's the first time, and I'll reiterate again in that review, that's the first time I've had a milkshake that's been better than its counterpart. I think that beer is fantastic, and you guys will see here coming up soon. But for this one here, I'm kind of somewhere in between. I'm sort of at a 4, I think. I'm maybe a little bit above that, but given the booziness, I might be back at a 4. So I think I gave this a 4 point. I think I gave it a 4.5 on draft. I'm not feeling it as much here. We'll see where it warms up, but I'm actually sitting at a 4 right now. So maybe 4.15, 4.1, something like that. But this review's gone on almost 10 minutes now, so long enough. But that's pretty much it for Looking Good Berries. So hey, if something drastically changes by the time this guy warms up, comment a little bit and maybe change my score or something. But as of now, 4.0. little bit too boozy and not totally New England style as far as that is concerned. Definitely not in the realm of things like Baba or not the last batch of Houston Haze, but batch 4 through 1 or 1 through 4 or whatever. Anyway, that'll be it. Tropical Shake coming up soon. And yeah, so cheers, and I'll catch you guys later.